welcome to The Observer and the Oracle. Today I want to be talking about, today I'm talking about Scorpio rising, Scorpio ascendant. I'm a Scorpio rising, Scorpio ascendant, and I really love all the videos that are out there right now. But I wanted to take it on more of an in-depth kind of version, because like as a Scorpio ascendant, I love to learn, and I love to learn about myself. So I just wanted to take this in more of an in-depth version, because I found, even though they're absolutely wonderful videos and totally helpful, I find what's missing from those videos is that, at least what I look for as a Scorpio rising, is that I'm looking for more information to tell me about myself. And that kind of comes into the whole entire thing where people are like, oh, Scorpio risings are a mystery. Yeah, because we're a mystery to ourselves. We are this enigma, and it's almost like as we're born, we don't exactly know who we are or where we fit in, or how to act around people. So a lot of times we tend to survive based on the feedback that we're getting from people. And that's really how we kind of like approach life, especially from early childhood. Like a Scorpio rising is always going to be born with this burning fire, and so we're naturally sassy. So like, if you try to discipline us as children, it's just not going to go well for you, because like if you like try to give us a spanking or tell us no, you are initiating war on a soul level, so good luck to you. But no, really, that's how we perceive these things as children. And because we don't like to be told what to do, we don't like to be controlled. And the biggest thing with the Scorpio rising is our freedom is very important to us, from early childhood all the way into adulthood. And so there's a lot of things that you can face as a Scorpio rising where other people will try to control you, or work in controlling environments that are really stifling to your own personal freedom. And so like another thing in early childhood is that there is a reason. Okay, so there's a reason why my channel is called The Observer and the Oracle. As a Scorpio rising, we watch people. We watch people in such a depth that we see things that most people don't. So we see the darkness in people. We see the things that you don't see about yourself. And so we are very cautious about how we reveal our energy to people, because a lot of times when we reveal our energy to people, it is very, and this is where we always get like that we're intense, because we feel everything in our soul. So And so we're cautious about revealing that to people, because there's a lot of times where we've revealed ourselves, our true nature of who we are, and the feedback from that, it's caused a lot of discrepancy with how we feel about ourselves and how we feel about our way in the world, because it's like we've always encountered situations where we're too much, or we're too weird, or we're too this or that, or too loud. Like, I get too loud all the time. I know it's not on the videos, but that's because my house is sleeping, so I try to like be polite. But it's being a Scorpio rising. A lot of times we don't know how to come at people, because people don't know how to take our intensity and first of all, just be able to accept it, because we are, if you're going to ask us our advice, we're going to cut down to what is going to get your situation settled, what's going to be the best thing, because we're tactical. That's just how we are. We're tactical about everything we do, because our whole entire life is based on survival. So, like, being based on survival, like from early childhood, our trust has been very much skewed and manipulated, and we've experienced betrayal, if not once, but throughout our entire lifetime in several different situations. And this just happens through life experience. And, you know, growing up as a Scorpio rising, you tend to put on armor, layer after layer after layer after layer. And then you get to a point, which I like to say, like, an awakened Scorpio rising versus an unawakened Scorpio rising. An awakened Scorpio rising then starts to take off those layers to go back to see who they really are, because I always find that a Scorpio rising, if they are not awakened, there is this point where they will notice through several types of transformations, or just, I will say, extremely shitty situations that keep on popping up, where they will notice the pattern. And that's part of the observing trait, is that we notice patterns. We notice weather patterns. We notice patterns in people. We notice how people react to certain things. We notice it all. And so hiding anything from us is really just, you're just asking to be investigated. And that's the truth. Because we will notice that you are off. We will notice that you did this instead of normally doing this. We will notice that there's something different in that area in the house. Why? Okay, well, we're going to figure that out. And that's the type of stuff that we notice everything. We notice body language, why you move this way, and why you did that. And we notice all of it. And so really, if you're trying to be deceitful against a Scorpio rising, good luck to you, because I mean, you're just asking to be found out, and then not only found out, but taken down in military action, because that's what's gonna fucking happen. And so, like, Scorpio risings, we're used to feeling alone, or being the black sheep, or just you know, as children, we create these rich internal worlds to help support ourselves because we notice um, just so much around us, everything in life from the good to the bad, and we're trying to figure and process all of this because there's a lot of times where we don't understand um, what's happening, so we have to break it down, um, especially like in a fight with the Scorpio rising. Like, you could have eaten my taco out of the fridge, but I'm having a full-blown meltdown on the inside, so I have to take a break outside for about 10 minutes because coming at me right now is not a good time because I'm just not the person that you want to talk to at that time. It's, and that's like, I like to think that that's for every Scorpio rising. It's this, even though it's something so small, anything that sets off that intense feeling, because we feel it from every single cell in our body, it radiates. And this is love, anger, pain, just anything and every single emotion in between. It is amplified by like 1,000, and it honestly, it feels like we can't contain it inside our bodies. Like, it's and it's an explosive energy. So like, if you're watching this and you know someone that's a Scorpio rising, know what triggers them, but don't use it against them. Use it as your awareness to know that, like, that's something that's going to bother them. And if, like, because we have them, we're all human, we all have our experiences, and we all have our positives and negatives, and that's who we are. But as a Scorpio rising, we feel things from the soul, from the depth of the soul, from the deepest part of the ocean you could ever go, which no one's gone. We feel that, and we feel it intensely. And we can go through a full-blown meltdown because you ate our taco. Like, that's that's what it is. So, like, going through adolescence, going into adulthood, it can become very hard to get close to people. It can be very hard to find friends that you consider friends. You can have friends for years and years and years, and they would not know anything about you because on some level, there's not a full amount of trust and coming from you because of, like, here's an example. Like, because of watching people, you watch this interaction between friends, and your friends talking to you, and then they're talking shit about someone, and then so you're watching that, and then that someone that they were talking shit about comes up, and then, oh my God, it's like none of that was ever said. Oh, we're best friends. And then they're so best friends, and you're just trying to process the situation. But through processing the situation, you come to an understanding that there's something in that person that makes me feel that I can't completely trust them, because they would, whether if it's revealing like your secrets or your pain, or just being able to sit in that space of vulnerability with them, there's some type of level of not being able to be completely authentic. And so that's, you know, that's something I've experienced a lot through life. Is just it depends on whom I'm around, where I feel that I can be completely authentic. And because it's like, at what point is this person going to accept me? Because a lot of times we are looking for some type of feedback or acceptance, and then as we get older, we just don't give a fuck anymore. And that's because we've had to transform over and over and over and over and over again. I've been many people throughout this lifetime. I've also died several times in this lifetime. Not actual like deaths, but like deaths of self over and over and over and over. And you know, it's not easy. It is the action of having to break myself down to foundation and have to rebuild again. Because of that, it causes us to be very selective with the people that we have in our life. Just because it's bringing in any certain person can be the catalyst for us to transform. And so and that's really what the entirety of our life is about transforming, transforming the darkness into light. And so because we're such a destructive force, it's a very big power to have. And we have no problem using it, typically not. But to the extent that we want to use it, that's a whole nother story, because we don't want to recreate this karma for our next lifetime. So we may even stop ourselves or question ourselves from completely destroying another individual, because it comes down to a choice. To get out of any situation or any relationship, it comes down to you either destroy that person or you destroy yourself and light the fire to the situation and walk out, because that's what we have to do. Unfortunately, you know, a lot of people don't take that well, but it's part of who we are. It's why we exist in this world. It is, we have had to transform ourselves so many times. It's that just us and our existence and just being who we are, the amount of information and light and perspective that is shed on the world, from the people that are just around us, we transform them. And it's through the art of being that we do this. And so you can be in relationships, and at some point yourself is going to come up and yourself is going to guide you to move. And at that point, you have to transform into the next situation. If you don't transform into the next situation, what will happen is the universe will continually give you feedback of your subconscious. And when you're continually getting this feedback of your subconscious, it can be like havoc on you in your everyday life. It's where you will experience painful things back to back to back to back. And that's the universe's response to your subconscious mind. And so that's why you have to transform and transform into a new situation, so that way you can get out of that space. Because what happens is it becomes very claustrophobic, and then you self-combust. And when you self-combust, everything and everyone's going down with you. So it's always better to allow yourself to transform, because through your own personal process of transformation, it can hurt people that you don't mean to hurt. And it's not through any fault of your own or through anything. It's just the way life circumstances are set up, the way that the relationship is set up. And, you know, a lot of people, especially if they're trying to control you and then they don't understand what's happening, it is because you will absolutely, you have to escape for your freedom. And so it's very intense placement. It just is. And you know, and I think it's very rare that you will find people that understand who you are and what you are. And even then, as your soul path of trying to find out who you are and what you are, you could watch a billion videos, you can read 1,000,000 books, and you could have 1,001 readings, and not anyone can tell you that. I can't tell you that, but I can tell you that when you slice away of all the pieces that are not you, you will find you. And so that is a huge part of being the Scorpio rising, is searching for your own identity and who you are and what you are, because you are this destructive force. And that's not in a bad way, but it's in a powerful way. You are able to destroy whatever is no longer serving you and ripping it off layer by layer by layer. And you can do this not just in yourself, but in like job placements and just all these situations in life. You are able to cut down to the core to see what is true and what is not. And that is extremely powerful for any person or any individual. So with that type of power, there is also a type of I want to say a type of consciousness of who we are as a human being, because it's like we have the power to completely destroy another human being, but it doesn't mean that we want to use that, because we don't want that karma attached to us of what happens when we do that. Like, if I'm ever in that type of situation, I give it up to the universe, God, whoever, and let them figure that out. Let them create that justice, because if I'm going in to do it, I'm doing it at all costs, with receipts, with like, I'm going into tactical force. Like, there is, I will, any Scorpio rising will have you cornered with backup receipts on top of backup receipts on top of affidavits. Like, it is not it's like, good luck to you if you're trying to go against one, because it's just not ever good luck. um, because, and this is why, is because we notice that people are sloppy. It's a thing. We notice things that people don't ever notice, and we think it's sloppy because we would never do that to ourselves in the first place. And if we did, we would clean it up. That's some real shit. And so, like, here's the thing. As a Scorpio rising, listen, I've been on this journey as like an awakened Scorpio rising for 13 years, and there are levels to awakening. I think all Scorpio risings run on a scale from where it's placed in your chart. You have extreme Scorpio risings to lighter shades of that. Scorpio risings like to ride the extremes. So it's either you're completely celibate, or you're absolute sex addict, or you have never done drugs before, or you are fully fucked up on drugs. And so, and a lot of times it's just about learning the experiences, learning the lessons from the experiences of riding those outer waves of society. So like, I'm a Scorpio rising, but I also have a Scorpio moon and Pluto conjunct my moon. And so the subconscious, I would like to do a Scorpio moon video, and because that is, I believe, okay, so I do think that Scorpio risings are extremely intuitive, but there's something about the Scorpio moon where I do want to kind of like, I want to do a video on them, but I think it's hard to separate it, because personally of how I feel it, it's like, I don't know if that's a Scorpio rising or a Scorpio moon, or if it's the combination of both. But like, the best advice I could give to you as a Scorpio rising is to know that, number one, you are meant to transform through everything, and do not be afraid to transform through any kind of situation that is not serving you, that is suffocating you, and know that you always have a solution to find your way out of that situation. Continue to learn about yourself and everything, and question all the things that you consider truth, and allow them, if they no longer serve you, allow them to deconstruct, so that way you can rebirth something new. I love the goddess Kali. That is one of my energies that I turn to for strength, because she is the goddess of destruction, but she's Kali Ma. She's also the mother and the loving energy, and this is the energy that I have worked with for years, and it has taught me to embrace who I am and what I am and why I am the way that I am. And so thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked it, and please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in another video. Bye.